Hi there, I'm Jack. Today I'm going to show you how to create a grid in p5.js. Let's dive right in. So first of all, let's think about what are some of the parameters we want to have for our grid. First, what is the number of columns? I'm going to create a variable called columns number, maybe 4 for now. And then the number of rows, row number, again, I'll set it to 4 for now. And let's say you want to create a grid to fill the entire canvas. Then we can calculate the width and height of each tile of the grid. Tile width, that is going to be the width divided by the number of columns. And tile height, that is going to be the height divided by the number of rows. Once we have these 4 variables, we can then calculate the position for each and every tile in our grid. And let's start by drawing a row of tiles. In order to draw a tile, we're going to use the rect function. And the first 2 parameters of the rect function is the top left corner of this rectangle, which is 0, 0. That is going to be the top left of the canvas as well. And tile width, tile height. So I just drew the first tile. And if I copy paste and try to draw the second tile, that is going to be tile width. And if I copy paste this again, it's times 2 to create another one. Copy this again, times 3 to create the last one. So you might already see a pattern here. So the only thing that's really changing here is this number. And in fact, we can make everything look the same by doing this and the first one times 0. So it's the same thing, but now it's more organized. You can see the only thing really changing here is this number. That is the indication that we can actually use a for loop to do this. So I'm going to use a for loop with a C stands for the column number or the column indexed. C smaller than columns number, C++. So we like to have a column index that starts with 0, and that number has to be smaller than the columns number, 4, because we want to start with 0 and go all the way to 3, like we've seen here, 0, 1, 2, 3. And then every time after we draw the rectangle, we like to increase the column index by 1. So now let's calculate the x-axis that we need to draw the rectangle. That is going to be tile width times c, as we've seen right there. And what is going to be the y of the tile? That is going to be 0 for now. And then we can use this information to draw a rectangle, x, y, and tile width, tile height, same thing. But now we can remove these 4 lines of code, and still we have one row of tiles. So we just created this for loop to replace all 4 lines of code. And we can, in order to create multiple rows, we need to use nested for loops. That is to create another for loop within this for loop that we just created. And by following the same pattern, we know that we're going to have a row index that starts with 0 and goes all the way to rows number. And in fact, yeah, 1 just below rows number. So it's going to be 3, 0, 1, 2, 3. And let's tidy code just so it's more readable. And this time, again, following the same pattern, instead of for y, it's going to be tile width times r. And there we go. We just create a grid, and let's try to change the columns number as well as the rows number. So perfect. So we just create a grid where we can change both the width and both the number of columns and number of height. And this is going to be the basis for a lot of other creative sketches. For instance, you can use this to create a gradient, as is shown in one of the other videos that I created. And we can use it to create pixels. And also we can use it to create patterns, repeated patterns based on this grid. If you're interested in seeing what are the things that you can do with a grid, please subscribe to my channel, and you'll see other videos about the grid in future video. Again, thank you for watching. See you next time.